I'm attempting to fly the huge coastline of Britain in just 1 week in a small single-engine plane. Together with my friend Philippe, we set off from Brighton Pier on a Monday morning and have just 5 days to not only fly the coastline as accurately as possible,
that's true. Go there. We would have had to go coastline.
but along the way to also try and stand on the eastern, northern, western and southern extremities of mainland Britain.
We made it. We made it. This is the point. Arrived in style.
In the last episode, we flew all the way down Loch Ness to Oban Airport, where we met a friendly Scots pilot who agreed to take us in his Robinson R66 turbine helicopter all the way to the most westerly point of mainland Britain.
Can anything top this?
After a fantastic helicopter experience and ticking off the third of the 4 extreme points of mainland Britain,
Lighthouse, is it? Wow, I mean come on, man.
we continued down the westerly coast of Scotland and England before arriving at Blackpool, which is where we stayed last night. But this morning, we began to realise that today was going to be a very long day of flying, and we still had absolutely no idea where we were going to end up that night.
Good morning from a not very sunny Blackpool Airport here on the west coast of Britain. We made it about halfway down the west coast after we set off from Scotland yesterday, and we've overnighted here in Blackpool, which, just as a side note, I used to come here as a kid. It's changed a lot. Like a lot of the fish and chip shops seem to be shut. The pleasure beach is shut. When did that happen? Irrespective, Blackpool was a kind of logical place for us to stop over. So we've just had a good night's sleep and a nice meal in the bed and breakfast that we booked. The other side note, again, a few tangents, sorry. But the bed and breakfast that we booked here, it was so nostalgic for me as someone who grew up in the UK to kind of come to Blackpool, stay in a bed and breakfast, like have a chat with the hotel manager. You know, you get served like a breakfast bat, beans on toast, mushrooms. Really reminds me when you were a kid and you used to come to places like this. Anyway, that's beside the point. We've got a lot to do today and I'm rambling on. Plan today is quite simple. We're not gonna probably make the southernmost point off mainland Britain today. It's just probably impractical with the amount of coastline we still have to trace and go around. We've got all of Wales to circumnavigate, for example, around the western coastline. So we're going to do that, going to head down south. There is some weather ahead of us, which is kind of in the distance here behind me. So we'll see what happens to our journey in terms of that weather. There's some quite low cloud around Wales. And tomorrow, when we're looking to set off and do Lizard Point, the most southerly point, the weather in the morning is actually looking very low in terms of cloud base. So it's going to be an interesting day and a half to still try and tick off this challenge. But the mission as it stands at the moment, coastline wise, we're looking pretty good, and I think we'll bite off a lot more of that coastline today. And we've done 3 out of the 4 extreme points of Britain. Only 1 more to go. And again, just like we had with the westernmost point, and we can't use a helicopter this time, we have no idea how we're going to get there. The other fun thing in today's flight is Philippe's actually doing a quick phone call for his business, Echelon Air, who we're flying with today. So he's in there making that quick call. And I've been tasked with pre-flighting the aircraft. Now, some of you have been asking in terms of the legalities of me flying the aircraft at the moment, where, as you know, with my health issues, I'm not currently flying my own plane in Australia right now. So Philippe is pilot in command. He's legally responsible. And I'll do the pre-flight. I'll check everything here on the plane, but I can't really declare the plane fit to fly. So he'll still come and do a second pre-flight himself. But while he's making the phone call, I just thought I'd do my own pre-flight just as a bit of a training exercise, because I haven't done it on an aircraft for about 4 months. So I'm going to remind myself what to do, make sure I still remember the process, and then of course he'll come and check everything and let me know if I've missed anything. But this, as well as flying around the UK for a bit of fun, this is a really good training activity for me as I slowly step my way back to hopefully flying myself again back in Echo Yankee Zulu, which will happen. And if anything, this trip has made me want it even more.
Blackpool Tower, good morning. Golf Yankee Yankee Echo Sierra on the GA apron with information Bravo, request taxi.
Golf Yankee Yankee Echo Sierra, Blackpool Tower, hello again. Bravo is currently QNH 1019er. Taxi initially holding point Bravo 2 via taxiway Bravo.
Holding point Bravo 2 via Bravo, QNH 1019, Golf Yankee Yankee Echo Sierra.
Oh, that wasn't a yawn, that was caught on tape.
You're
doing
falling
great.
asleep.
You're doing great.
My taxiing is so boring.
So relaxing.
Oh my God.
It's so good.
Steph's taxi will take us 3 hours to get to the holding point. And Golf Echo Sierra is ready, holding point Echo 2 for departure.
Golf Echo Sierra, surface wind 210 degrees 10 knots, runway 28, clear for takeoff.
Runway 28, clear for takeoff, Golf Echo Sierra.
Next flight to Alpha and
Airspeed's coming up on both.
Fuel balance at Golf November India, thanks for that.
50. But here's most of the runway there.
Golf Echo Sierra, contact Wharton radar 129.530. The heavy details. Have a safe flight. All the best.
129530, and thanks for the help. Nice to meet you all. All the best. Golf Echo Sierra.
What is it? Go a little to the right so I can see.
Oh yeah, I think it's a shipwreck.
Is it?
You want to see?
Yeah, I do.
Oh no, it's not a shipwreck. It's a pier of some sort.
Oh.
And Echo Sierra, if you'd like above 1,500 feet, that's approved.
That's great. We're gonna level up at 1400. Golf Echo Sierra.
Copy.
No, we do not like.
We don't want high on this trip, Philly. We're low and slow.
Low and
No,
slow.
not low and slow. We're low.
Low and steady.
Low and steady. I like it. Low and steady.
We could be slower.
Yeah, we could be a lot slower. We could be in a boat.
Worst. And I guess we stay on the squawk, or
Well, they didn't tell us to squawk. Conspicuity. I guess when we're outside of,
well,
his
outside
service.
the Wharton zone.
Yeah.
I'll do it.
Alright, and on we go. As we
On we go.
continue
Yeah.
southbound.
Who's our next
now.
frequency then? Let me.
It's going to be Liverpool.
Liverpool. This is Liverpool, man. We're in Liverpool. That's cool.
Liverpool.
Look at those colorful towers there, the red and orange one.
Yeah. From a distance, it
The
looks like
blue.
a telephone box.
Hey, do you know we're in Wales now, by the way? We didn't even mark the occasion. How about that?
Our third country off the trip.
I'm not even going to try to do a Welsh accent.
I think leave it to the Welsh.
Leave it to
I
the
think,
Welsh.
Yeah, they do it well enough.
Sierra Liverpool, just short cost security now. Free call Valley, please, on 125.225.
125225 and conspicuity. Golf Echo Sierra, thanks for the service. Bye.
Cheers, good day.
Menai Strait, that's what he said, we can pass through the Menai Strait, which is the little gap up ahead. I think that's Aberystwyth, and then this is the mainland of Wales, so we're going to go down this Menai Strait, but it is looking a little bit, not cloudy, but I think there's just a bit of moisture up ahead.
Yeah, we can see through it, right? We can see the strait on the other end. So it's definitely, the visibility is still good. That end of the strait is approximately 15 miles away and we can see it. So this is good.
But we've just been given, it's not a clearance, but we've just been given an altitude restriction of 1,500, which actually works out better for us because low down by the coast is exactly what we wanted.
Yeah, exactly. We should mark, since we marked Ben Nevis, we should mark the biggest mountain in Wales.
Snowdon?
This is Snowdon, yeah?
This is what we should be doing at breakfast instead of chatting about all the other stuff. We should be looking at where the mountains actually are. All right, you look up Snowdon. I'll get us through this strait. Oh, and here comes the rain.
It's right. It will be right at our 90, which is basically here. So it's that peak right there. Yeah. That might even be the top of it. It's hard to tell with the clouds. We actually, funny enough, we have the same weather conditions from Ben Nevis to Snowdon.
Oh, we do, yeah. So we've seen the bases of the highest peak in Scotland and Wales, but not the tops. Yeah, they've both been shrouded by cloud. I think this is what you want from flying through Wales, though. If it was sunny, it would be a little bit worrying. But I think it adds to the Welshness of it all, just the fact that we got the rain on the windshield.
Should we go under the bridge?
Yeah, do it. I'll give you £5 if you do it.
£5?
Yeah.
Is that it?
What do you mean, is that it? That's a lot of money.
So the question is my career worth £5?
Wow, because I was going to go up to 6.
Wow, yeah. We're in a little bit of rain now.
That's for sure.
What is a little bit frustrating is that I watched the airplane, now it's 30 again. See the airport? What do you think of those wind turbines right next to the runway?
Yeah, that's an interesting choice, isn't it? A very interesting choice.
Let's just say that's unique.
As we made our way through the Menai Strait, we could see the weather up ahead wasn't actually looking that great. We were here on the Welsh coastline and up ahead the clouds were building and the visibility was quite poor. So once again we put safety and fuel planning first and decided to make a left turn and cut off this piece of the headland. Yes, it's not great for the track log and of course I would have loved to have gone around that headland. But as you can see from this footage, yeah, the clouds are pretty low and the visibility was not good at all. So ultimately this was a pretty easy choice.
Valley, Golf Echo Sierra, sorry, we just cut off the peninsula here. We're going to switch now to plan better on 118. decimal 930.
And it wasn't long before we were through most of that bad weather. The clouds started lifting and the visibility up ahead for the rest of the coastline today looked much, much better.
Snack time.
Yeah.
Hashtag.
How long have we been going for? 1 hour and 21 minutes so far. Yeah, definitely snack time. All right, what's on today's menu?
Naked, salted caramel flavored.
That already sounds good.
Yo-yo bears.
They were good yesterday.
Apple and cinnamon.
Knackered. Knackered.
Strawberry and raspberry flavor. Love corn.
Oh, I do like them.
We have, a big share pack.
Do we have to share it?
Air nuts, black and pepper. Air nuts. I don't know what an air nut is.
I don't know what an air nut is either.
Their nature's powerhouse. Tribe. Protein flapjacks. Chocolate peanut flavor. And then we have a drink. Everybody needs a drink to wash it all down.
I think we do fruit as a starter. So I think we go this. I think we do like a nut-based main course. So whether it's air nuts, corn nuts or peanuts, I don't mind. And then chocolate pudding. I think we're going to round, this will be the westernmost point of Wales then.
Yeah.
The southwestern tip of Wales. It's a lot flatter than the northern side of Wales. And this is the other good thing
like
about
the point, both of these together. Yeah.
doing this trip. This is a cool thing because like Wales, I just think hilly. All of Wales is hilly, but it's actually, it flattens out quite a lot in the south. You don't get that perspective unless you see it from here.
Yeah.
It's brilliant.
Very cool.
Now our GPS track is going to be slightly off the actual coastline of the southern part of Wales now, because there are a couple of danger areas, restricted areas on the shoreline, and we had a choice. We could either go, well, we can't really go through them, we can't go through them, we could go south of them and go way out to water, or cut inland, which means we're not as far away from the coastline as we would be otherwise. So this keeps us closer to the coastline, but we're actually flying over land.
Yeah, right now the coastline is 6 nautical miles off to our right, so we're 6 nautical miles inland.
Yeah. But do you know, this feels odd. This is one of the few times that we're actually flying over land. We don't have some element of water below us because the river's behind us now. It feels a bit wrong.
It does feel wrong.
The other thing we have to decide, Philippe, is how much Bristol Channel do we actually want to channel? Because, again, airspace.
Yep.
So we have to decide on a bit of a turning south point.
Yeah, I think just around this airport. What is that one?
This will be... Oh, it's Cardiff.
Yeah, so maybe just before Cardiff.
Yeah. So then we don't need to clear it.
There's also these zones look active.
Yeah, these
on the south side.
These ones on the south.
Yeah, that danger area.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what we did. Just before getting to Cardiff's control zone, we decided to take a right and make our way across the Bristol Channel, straight across to the north coast of Devon. Yes, again, it would have been nice to maybe do a little bit more of the River Severn itself, but as Philippe mentioned, that would have meant going through the busy Cardiff airspace, and there were a couple of danger areas on the south coast as well.
Look at all of that Bristol Channel that we can't go down, Philippe.
The thing is, it will be, right, if we want to like go up there, that's 40 miles, 80 miles, it's another hour. It's hard to justify.
Once again, it was a no-brainer to cut out this bit of the coastline, and it also meant we got to the coastline of Devon even faster, which I was really happy about for one rather personal and very nostalgic reason.
It's this beach. This is the one.
That one.
Yeah,
this is the big one.
This is the beach that we used to come down to. Yeah, the big beach down here. It's a beautiful sandy beach, and this is where I do like body surfing in the water. We used to buy one of those polystyrene boards and just I've spent the whole day down here. And this also is a really, it's like a happy place, but I also have a childhood memory here of getting lost on that beach for about 2 hours, because I went off into the ocean. There must have been a bit of a tide or a rip that I got caught in.
And you got pushed down the beach.
Pushed out, and I came back onto the beach, couldn't find my parents again. And so I walked along, and it was the middle of summer, so it was really busy, and I eventually found someone, and I just walked up to them, and I remember saying this to them. I said, "Excuse me, I've lost my family, can you help me find them?" And they did, and they, you know, they held my hand, and then eventually I found my family again back here. But this beach we used to come to.
They were disappointed.
To get me back again. I'm sure they were. They probably moved whilst I was in the water. One day, Philippe, when we get to circumnavigate Britain in a clockwise direction, you can see all this.
I'm sure it's beautiful.
That's a nice lighthouse. What's that one? I'll look it up in a second.
surprised whatever this dish array is here doesn't have a zone around it.
Those are big dishes though, like radio telescope dishes.
They can dish us up a subpoena.
Oh, yes.
We'll tell them what we're doing.
Dish us up. That was...
Hey, here's your castle, Tintagel Castle.
Ah.
Is that the one from,
Yeah, like the Legend of Camelot. Was that his?
yeah, the Legend of Camelot?
Once again, do you know what would have been good? Some basic research. Beautiful. Who needs a drone, hey? Thanks, William, for letting us look at your castle.
It's gorgeous.
Golf Echo Sierra, we're now final for runway 16. Golf Echo Sierra, runway 16, surface wind 190 degrees, 8 knots, clear to land. Runway 16, clear to land, Golf Echo Sierra.
500.
You can't really tell on a camera that we're doing a side slope, you see. But what you can tell is that we're
Hi.
high. Now you can tell we're doing a side slope.
I'll Photoshop the lights out.
This is like the worst landing ever.
This is great. What are you talking about? We're down, we're happy, and everyone enjoyed it.
So we just have made a quick fuel stop here at Land's End Airport. We're now actually going to fly down to Lizard Point because we were checking the weather earlier today and it's not looking too good tomorrow morning. So we may not be able to join the coastline from here to Lizard Point tomorrow morning. So we're actually going to try and cut off a bit of tomorrow's coastal flying now. So get to Lizard Point, see what it looks like, and then we're going to head back to our final destination for the night. But whilst the weather's so good, and it's still early afternoon as we're recording this, we thought, why not?
Yeah, I think take advantage. I mean, there's not a cloud in the sky. It's absolutely stunning down here.
It's a beautiful day.
So then we fly.
So then we fly.
Okay, seatbelts on.
Hey, firm, seatbelts on. I love this. I just said to Philippe, I said, if you want to just get us moving, go ahead. I said, press buttons, do things, your plane. And by the time I've just literally just kind of put my iPad down, got my camera ready, set myself up, like we were on the runway, I'd be still starting the thing up back there.
No, it's not a
like,
race.
No, it's not a race, but just your
But it's
efficiency
efficiency.
levels. Yeah, of course.
Am I doing it? Doing
Yeah, go.
all of it?
Yeah, you do it. Go,
Oh, cool.
go for it. You haven't flown at all on this trip.
Golf Echo Sierra, we're lined up and ready for departure. Golf Echo Sierra, roger, runway 16, surface wind 210, 8 knots, clear for takeoff. Clear for takeoff, runway 16, Golf Echo Sierra.
Ready?
Ready.
Ready.
South speed 76 through
Ram,
the
back
south of
pressure.
South speed 76, roger. Tractor 1, continue up to runway 16.
I mean, it feels like we should also fly around Land's End, no?
Well, we need to because we need to try and, otherwise we'll have a gap in the coastline.
That's true.
If possible.
And Tower Golf Echo Sierra, are you okay if we make a right turn now and join the coastline around? FM, that's fine, report passing the complex. Basic service. Basic service, thanks very much, Golf Echo Sierra.
And that's Land's End itself.
Yeah, it must be, right?
Yeah.
This is the point.
This is the point.
Is 8 miles north of the LND.
But not the most southerly point, but I
That's
guess
right.
the most southwesterly point, I guess.
The furthest away from John O'Groats.
Furthest away from John O'Groats. Which, you think about it, we were in John O'Groats 2 days ago.
2 days ago.
If you think about the path that we took from that John O'Groats to Land's End, think about the way that we've come round. God, that's a lot of distance that we've covered.
Yeah.
That's so good to see it. We've
Pretty
been
cool.
to opposite ends.
Opposite ends of the UK.
mainland Britain. Brilliant.
So cool. Merlin departing, do you see him?
Oh yeah, there it goes.
It's a big old helicopter.
They are huge, aren't they? Wow, that's like a flying house. Philippe,
I think we may be looking at history being made.
Golf Echo Sierra, happy for you to make your descent. Wonderful, thank you. We'll descend down to about 1,000. Height 1,000, Golf Echo Sierra. Golf Echo Sierra.
these guys are legends.
Yeah, they're making it work for us.
Yeah, they absolutely are. Well, until we set foot on it, it's not official, but
True.
we can now at least say that we've seen from the air each of the extremities of mainland Britain. Because yeah, up ahead of us, here we are. So this is Lizard Point. This is still quite a milestone in our trip.
We have 1/2 of one length of the United Kingdom uncompleted.
Yeah.
Which feels like an achievable amount.
And one more day to do it. I think we can do it.
And a day to do it.
Yeah. All right, so there's a car park there. This is good research for tomorrow as well. There's a car park because we're driving down to this one. And there's a path and you can walk down. I see people on a headland in a little bay area.
I think this is the point right here now.
Yeah. I wonder if there's some sort of official marker for it. But yeah, everything goes according to plan. That's where we'll be tomorrow morning.
That's it.
Do you want a passport on your side? You have a proper look.
Yeah, then you can capture another round and then we can just shoot on our way.
Yeah, done. And for the first time on this trip, you've got the coast on your side.
Wow, I mean, is this what you've been looking at the
This
whole
is what I've been
week?
seeing. It's good, isn't it?
There's so much to look at.
It's so nice, yeah. I really feel like you missed out, to be honest. I've had a great time.
But our big day of flying still wasn't over at this point, because after seeing Lizard Point, we did the one thing we haven't actually done on this trip so far, and that's climb up to altitude and fly in a straight line between 2 points. Those points being Land's End and a destination that neither Philippe nor I had ever been to before. Because tonight we were staying on the Scilly Isles on the southwestern tip of Britain.
Do you mind?
No.
You've never, no, you landed.
I don't mind at all. You know I don't mind.
No. Okay.
Come on. I'm not flying it. Somebody else is flying. Oh my god. You ready?
I'm ready.
Alright, your controls then.
My plane.
And Golf Echo Sierra, we're just rounding out around the last island.
Roger, Golf Echo Sierra, continue to join net downwind left hand runway 14.
We're joining downwind, left hand, 14, Golf Echo Sierra. Golf Echo Sierra now on downwind for 14.
Golf Echo Sierra, number 1, port final runway 14.
Port final 14, Golf Echo Sierra. Wow, look at all the boats in the harbor. Coming in after their transatlantic crossings.
Golf Echo Sierra, runway 14, surface wind 220 degrees 10 knots, clear to land.
14, clear to land, Golf Echo Sierra.
The one thing you may notice about the runway here at the Scilly Isles is that if you look halfway down, you'll notice that it slopes dramatically off into the sea below. So it was really important on this approach to make sure I had my speeds and my aim point correct.
Golf Alpha Juliet, taxi straight ahead via the grass, enter backtrack line up and wait, runway 14.
Sorry about your brakes, but I'm going to slow down here.
Let's turn around.
Yeah.
Golf Echo Sierra, 180 backtrack.
180 backtrack, Golf Echo Sierra.
Didn't need all the power.
As we powered the aircraft back up that gigantic hill and shut down for the night, we cycled into town to check out the flight logs for the day.
Golf Yankee Yankee Echo Sierra is behind me. And now we need to make our way around the airport and into town. I mean, look at that. That's pretty special.
As you can see, despite the weather and cutting off a few major headlands, and of course the entire Bristol Channel, it was still a really long day of flying with over 826 kilometres of the British coastline covered. But it all comes to a conclusion tomorrow when we unfortunately wake up to a very grey and overcast Scilly Isles with no hopes of a visual departure. Will we get to Lizard Point? Will we complete our lap of the coastline? What I can tell you for sure is that I'm so grateful for your company on this journey. Thank you so much for all the wonderful feedback you've given us so far. And if you're not a subscriber, then please do consider clicking on that subscribe button to see where we end up on the next and final episode of Extreme Britain.